everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to our first How They Do That Live for 2024. I know we're a little bit into the 2024 year, but Happy New Year for anyone that I haven't seen. So in today's How They Do That session, we're going to talk about all things Googly. And we're going to address some tools that we have in some of our Google apps in our district. My name is Angela Gama. I'm an instructional technology trainer for Manassas City Schools, so I'll be your MC here today. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have in store for you. So the first topic we're going to be talking about here is going to be FigJam. For that, we have Alexandra Hancock guide us through that. Hello. I think you can all hear me now. I'm so sorry about that. My headset decided to not want to come back to work after the 3-day weekend, seems like. So I was just told that my audio went out like for about a minute ago. So I'm so sorry. Just wanted to, go over some of the rules. That's pretty much what I was covering. Just wanted to share that in this event, your microphone and camera is disabled to keep things a little bit more organized, more structured. And that if you wanted to share any questions or if you want to ask any questions, you can use the Q&A in our meetings menu. So you'll see an icon with the Q&A in it, and you can type in any questions there. I'll try to address those live as much as I can. If not, we'll send you a follow-up email with any answers that were not kind of taken care of during the session. And I will mark the attendance tomorrow, and I'll send you the follow-up email with all the resources that we talk about here in today's meeting, including the recording of today's session. All right, as always, we like to kind of go over our collective why in Manassas City Schools, our vision. Every student graduates with the skills, knowledge, and character traits essential to thrive and contribute to society. And that takes us to our first topic, which is FigJam. And for that, we have Alexandra Hancock, my colleague here in the EdTech department. So if you're all ready, Alexandra, go ahead and take it away.
Sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just so I've got control over the videos and everything. All right, so we're going to go ahead and talk about FigJam. And you guys are probably wondering if this is all about Google, why we're talking about a non-Google product, but I will tell you in just a moment. But first, let's learn a little bit about what FigJam is before we learn why we're going to learn about it. So we have just a quick 1-minute promo video of FigJam in action and see if you can kind of identify what type of tool FigJam might be. So we'll take a look at this video. Okay, so there's a lot going on in that video. FigJam is a lot of things. Nope.
Hey,
we're not going to worry about the rest of that video. Oh my gosh.
You there?
Hello.
There we go. Okay, those people at the end are teasing the audio is coming, but we don't have that enabled in FigJam right now. So there was a lot going on in that video about FigJam. Oh my gosh, Google does not want to cooperate with me today. But let's learn a little bit more about why you might want to use FigJam with your classes. So first and foremost, FigJam like any Google tool, offers real-time collaboration. So you and all of your students can be in a FigJam board together, or groups of students can work on a FigJam board individually or in groups. FigJam is great for a lot of different things. Basically, it's an infinite canvas, so it's a whiteboarding tool with lots of different things that you can add to it. So students can prototype, they can sketch out ideas, they can draw on it, they can leave notes, they can put sticky pads, they can even do flow charting. They can brainstorm, they can upvote each other, they can add stickers, they can add multimedia components. Basically, if you want to be able to throw it onto a whiteboard digitally, you can do it with FigJam. And as there's no limitations. It's an unlimited canvas space, so the canvas just kind of grows as you need it to, so you can constantly add stuff to it. And then FigJam is fun. So we might have been familiar with a tool like OneNote or some other digital whiteboard. FigJam kind of takes that and kicks it up a notch by adding fun cursors, emoji explosions, stickers, little animations when you vote on things, washi tape, so you can really make it look like a piece of paper, or you can make it as a multimedia as you would like to. Now, FigJam does have some competitors like Lucidchart. Lucidchart does offer diagramming and flowcharts, but FigJam is a virtual whiteboard, and it's a place where you can really make it your own. Now, you might still be wondering, how does this tie into Google? A while ago, Google had a tool called Google Jamboard, which was very similar to FigJam. It's a whiteboarding tool that lets you integrate all kinds of pieces. However, Google has officially sunset Google Jamboard and has announced that FigJam is the official replacement. So that's why we're talking about FigJam today, because it's the replacement for a Google tool that some of us used to use called Google Jamboard. So what exactly is FigJam and how do you access it? So as we kind of saw a little bit in that video and the previous slides, FigJam is a digital whiteboard. It's an intuitive collaboration tool that requires little to no prior design knowledge to use, and it's ideal for groups or individuals. You can even use it to present. You can do diagramming, brainstorming, feedback, drawing, and so much more. There's a lot of different features in FigJam, and we're going to watch a quick 6-minute video just to get up and going. But some of the features that you can keep an eye out for is drawing, the infinite canvas, sticky notes, templates, and mind maps. And guess what? We already all have access. FigJam is free for education users to use, so all you have to do is find it in the MCS app portal. It's already there for you and your students. So open up the MCS app portal, click on FigJam, and you'll sign in with Google. Once you sign in with your district Google account, you will be able to see all of your FigJams, including any recents that you have worked on or any drafts that are available. Under the recents area, you'll see FigJam templates, and there's all kinds of templates to get you going. Or if you just want to start with a blank canvas, you can click New FigJam Board, and that will give you a blank canvas to work with. All right, so I want to show you guys it in action, and I have a quick 6-minute video here. I do mean quick. This guy talks fast. He shows a lot of features. So just kind of watch it. Don't feel any pressure to follow along, but I want you to see how easy it is to work with FigJam. Before we get into the video, sorry if there's one more slide here that I forgot about, but before we get into the video, I do want to show you here, there's a couple different navigation pieces. There is the board itself, which is going to be your white background. There is the file toolbar located up at the top where you can do things like copy. You can set a timer for activities if you're letting your students collaborate on activities, and you have a share button very similar to Google. And then all of your FigJam tools live in a little bar at the bottom of the screen, and that's where you will find those tools, including your select tool and your hand tool, your pen, your sticky notes, your shapes, your connectors, your text, your tables, your stamps, and all of your multimedia components. So kind of keep an eye on that layout. You've got your board, you've got your file toolbar up at the top, and you've got your main tools at the bottom. And as we watch the video, you'll see him navigate those different areas. So in 6 minutes, let's see how to use FigJam.
My name's David, and over the last 10 years of being a classroom teacher, I have had so much joy working on whiteboards. I've most recently found the beauty and joy of digital whiteboards, specifically that in FigJam. Let me go ahead and show you, or at least a smaller version of myself in the corner.
Sure thing, full screen, Dave.
Well, what you're looking at is a FigJam. This is also a FigJam. Even this cute little nugget of a first grade lesson is a FigJam as well. This is a FigJam 101 video for K-12. And in today's video, we're going to cover what FigJam is, how to navigate a FigJam, and key features you will need to know. So what is FigJam? FigJam is an online whiteboard that is absolutely free for education. That's right, you teachers and students never have to pay for it. And I believe that even through this video, you're going to get to see how FigJam can redefine your collaboration experience. Let's go ahead and have a tour. Let me show you how to navigate around a FigJam. But something very important is missing. Let me zoom out here a little bit. Voila, we have the toolbar. But before we get there, I want to show you up here, we have some features you can click on and get to. We also have a timer as well as, yes, you can play music, set up some voting systems. You can even find templates you can directly add into your FigJam that are for the classroom. There's an area up here for comments. Over here, you can name your files, look at your file's version history, and you can even up in the top right, share your file with students. Now the toolbar. This is my favorite place to be in a FigJam. You have your navigation features, you have pen tools, highlighters, washi tape, all sorts of goodies. You have shape tools with dozens of shapes to choose from. You have sticky notes. You also have the More's tab, which is chock full of goodies. We got ourselves stickers, templates, widgets, all sorts of great things. You have the text, connector tools, stamps, emotes as well, which are really fun. And then you have sections, and lastly, tables. And that's the toolbar. I'm going to walk you through a few key features you will need to know to be successful in any FigJam file you're in. The first one is sticky notes. You can grab sticky notes from the toolbar down here. You can also, if you have an existing sticky note on the canvas, click on it, click the blue dot, and then type your text into the field. Once you have your text into the field, you can highlight that text, you can change its size, you can change the type of font that it appears in, you can even bold, strike through, and do many other things. The next thing you're going to want to know to do is add stamps. Stamps are a great way to show your appreciation, stoke, and excitement over someone's idea or whether or not you agree or disagree with someone's point of view. Lastly, in this section, I'm going to show you emotes, which are a really fun way to get the students engaged, to show your thinking in real time, and maybe even get those conversations and lessons to be a little bit more exciting. Go down to stamps. You can find both stamps and emotes here. And enjoy. The next feature, one of my favorites, is stickers. Go down to your More bar. You can go into stickers. It's right next to templates. Type in what you'd like, and it's a phenomenal idea to add these to your canvases. You can share feedback with stickers. You can label and annotate, and just customize files as you'd like. Next are the shapes and connectors tools. You can grab shapes down here in the bottom. You can choose from a plethora of shapes that we have provided inside of FigJam. Once you have the shapes you'd like to go and continue with, click on a shape, click on that button that appears right next to it. Click Add Another and type in your text. You can then move the shape around to the position you'd like. You can even type inside of the text right here, which is really nice. And you can keep building out your process charts and not be slowed down by the process of building them. And once you get the hang of it, your process maps and flowcharts can almost look as snazzy as this middle school example. Here in FigJam, we support images and GIFs. A GIF can be played right on side of your canvas, and images have a ton of different things you can do with them. I can multi-select these two images here and give them a background to really make them pop off of the canvas. I can also go into any one of my images and I can change the type of border or the type of cropping property that has. That's images and GIFs. Sections are another feature you will need to know to organize lessons and activities inside of FigJam. To grab a section, you can go down here to sections and you can click and drag and make that section the size you would like. I'm going to name this section Resources. When you have a section, everything that is inside of that section will remain inside that section wherever you move it. And if I were to zoom out, the names and labels of these sections remain consistent so you can see them from far away. And last but not least, we got widgets. Imagine little apps that live on side of your canvas. We got widgets where you can spin a dice. You can spin a spinner. Choose that student at random. You can play rock, paper, scissors. You can even organize teams right away. And my favorite widget, which we're going to end on here, is the photo booth widget. Click on the photo booth, take a photo of yourself. And I mean, what student isn't going to want to do that? To take it one step further, I can take this widget. I can go down here and find widgets inside this More panel. I'm going to type in voice and bring the voice widget onto the canvas. You can then click on the voice widget to activate recording. Start recording and say something really fun, like, I've lived in 3 different countries in my life. You can hit end. You can name the recording if you'd like to. You can make it a little bit smaller. You can shrink it down. You can hide the title. You can plop that on to your picture. And there you go. A little card about who I am. Nice little intro, maybe for a get to know you activity. So here's how all those features and functions might come together for you in a lesson. We got ourselves a story arc. And yes, I've added in some fun stickers just to make it a little more lively for my students. I organized each area of the canvas into a section just to give them prompting and clarity as to what they're supposed to be doing. And yes, you can play YouTube videos and add articles right inside of FigJam. You can also add in some workspace areas using a section, and students can use the highlighter and pen tools to really get creative with their thoughts. I hope this was an informative FigJam 101 video for you. Please let us know in the comments what other features would you like to see and how.
Okay, so I warned you guys. It's a very quick video. He goes over a lot of features really quickly. The good news is if you're interested in learning more about FigJam, we have a bunch of trainings coming up for you at the end of January and the beginning of February. They're in the PD catalog, so all you have to do is look for FigJam and you will see those trainings. And they will be with the vendor, so the experts will be teaching you how to use this.
My name's David.
Oops, not. So just to kind of recap what we saw in that video, you have some easy ways in FigJam to select items, and then you can use the hand to move around the canvas. Sticky notes are easy ways for you and your students to add text and notes on the board, and you can use sections to group content together. Couple other really cool things we saw in that video was the shapes. So you can add a variety of shapes to the board, and there is ways to get them all perfectly aligned using the tidy up feature. By tidying them up, it will perfectly align them for you, so you don't have to sit and go pixel by pixel to make sure they're lined up just right. You can also use connectors to connect shapes together, which is perfect for mind mapping, or in the example that we saw, building out that 5-paragraph structure with the intro paragraph, the body paragraphs, and the conclusion. You can also use connectors to do brainstorming, mind mapping, building out processes, iterating the scientific method, the design cycle, whatever you want to do, those connectors are going to let you connect your ideas together. And then with the draw tool, you have some fun. You can highlight, you can draw, you can add washi tape. Students can actually even make their own stickers and washi tape with their own patterns if they would like to. And then you have an eraser just in case you make a mistake. You can always erase content too. You can also add text, which is just going to allow you to type directly onto the FigJam board, and you'll have all of your font and rich text editing options, such as font size, color, alignment, bulleted lists, tables, things like that. And I know I'm going quickly here, but I want to make sure we have time for all the other great presentations. But FigJam also has some great templates, as well as some AI features, which we'll take a look at as I wrap up here. There's even more. So some of the stuff that we saw in the video is the ability to add a timer. You can add ambient music, and you can allow voting. Students also have stamps, and they can use that emoji cursor to have a burst of reactions on the screen so that they can show each other appreciation for their work. And then finally, this is one of my favorite features of a FigJam. If you're presenting with a FigJam, you can use the spotlight feature, and that will bring anybody who's on the FigJam board to where you are. So you really have control of what they're seeing, and as you move around the board, they can follow you so that you're always in the same place. So that way, if you set up a bunch of different activities, you can move to them one by one and know that your students are right there with you. And with that being said, I have one more 1-minute video for you guys on FigJam AI, and then I will turn it back over to Angela. So let's check out FigJam AI. Okay, so that was FigJam AI. Basically, it's just going to be a helpful little toolbox off to the side there that can do things from generate whiteboards for you, organize content for you, summarize content for you, give you additional ideas if you need them, and it's pretty awesome. So just as a reminder, FigJam, we are offering trainings on it in the later this month and early February. So definitely sign up for a training and learn more about this great whiteboard tool. There we go. With that being said, thank you so much, and I will turn it back over to Angela.
Well, thank you so much, Alex. That was a pretty cool tool. I think it's my favorite so far of all the whiteboards I've seen. As you know, as Alexandra mentioned, it's in our MCS app portal, so feel free to go in and check it out yourselves, and maybe, check it out with your PLC and use it as a collaborative tool as well. All right, so now the next topic we're going to talk about here is the Explore and Citation tool in Google Docs. And unfortunately, Jamie Frederickson is not able to join us live, but she prepared an amazing video for us where she explains the Explore and Citation tool. Just to put in a plug here, Jamie is a Google Level 1 participant. It's one of the programs that we have to help our teachers to go through the process of getting their Google Level 1 and Google Level 2 certification. So she learned about this tool during that program. So I will go ahead and play that video and share my screen with all of you. All right, let's give it a second shot.
To how did they do that live, although I am not live. I'm here to share with you a little bit about some Google Docs tools, specifically Explore and Citation tools, and I'm here as a representative of a participant in the Level 1 Google Academy this year. My name is Jamie Frederickson, and a little bit about me, I'm the library media teacher at Gregory. I'm also the ed tech liaison, and before I moved to the library, I was an English and psychology teacher. As you can guess, research and writing is important in all of those realms and many more, and unfortunately, they can often seem like super daunting tasks when we're trying to get it right, both for teachers and students. So when I was asked to share some of my learning from the Google Academy this year, I wanted to highlight these specific features from Google Docs because I believe that they make research assignments more accessible for students. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Google Docs and its collaborative features, word processing features, autosave functions. From all those lost papers of our youth, we are grateful now to have this autosave feature. Outside of those elements, though, Google Docs has many tools integrated within it, and they add more, it feels like all the time, that makes life easier. So specifically, we're going to look at Explore and Citation features. And another reason I think this is important to talk about is because in the days where academic integrity, especially with writing tasks, can sometimes feel sketchy at best, it's important that our students feel like they can be successful. So the hope is if they're more confident with these skills, they'll be less likely to turn to plagiarism. And if we teach them to use tech for good, they'll be set up for the future. The features we're going to look at can be found elsewhere, other tools and apps online, but using them within the Google Doc workspace or Google Slide workspace, I think makes it less likely they'll get distracted or bogged down by multiple clicks and tabs. And I'm going to demonstrate how to use those features, and I recommend that you follow along and play around with them with your own device. We learn best by doing quite often. And one thing I'll say from introducing these tools to students this year, they found them really helpful. Citing sources with all of those intricate rules can feel super burdensome, and we don't want to discourage students from doing things the right way and developing really important research skills. The most important elements of research aren't the technical details of a works cited page. It's finding good sources, learning from those sources, giving them credit, synthesizing it all into some new knowledge. So removing any roadblocks to that great deep learning and knowledge building for students is really important. And we want them to have a sense of academic integrity and see that not only is it important, but it's doable to have both things. So while we work together, I'm going to start with a blank Google Doc or semi-blank Google Doc. And when I go through these skills with students, I start with a blank document because there's a huge knowledge gap for kids. For us, especially our 9th graders, they come from multiple feeder schools and districts. And every student's not on the same page, and we want to get them on the same footing. And so I show students the various tools, right? So file page setup to make sure they have the correct margins, which I've done on this paper already. Times New Roman, size 12 font, double spacing. You'd be amazed the students who I watch when they are going to print a final paper, they hit enter after every line. So we show them how to use tech for good, again, and make lives easier. And just the basic page setup rules. So if you have the time in your class, I recommend you walk them through those steps every now and then and show them the importance of setting up a great paper ahead of time, because then they're going to be looking at something professional while they add their work to it. And I think that can give them a sense of pride, and it feels organized, and it's a nice way to start things off. The step I will show you that many students don't realize is there is when we want them to do page numbers, you can double click in the top inch of your paper to get your header, which is going to print on every page, right? It's going to copy what's there onto every page of your paper. And again, I watch students try to manually type in the page numbers for their work, and that messes up the formatting. They're having to space down a line. And so teaching them this very basic tool is really helpful. So first of all, most headers, they're going to write their last name. Maybe for some papers, you have kids use their ID numbers. And I love when students teach me things, because when I was walking kids through this and I'm like, okay, how do we insert a page number? So they would take me over here to this insert page number option, which is how I know to do it. And this kid raises his hand. He's like, click options, page numbers. It's super easy. So I love when kids can make me feel old like that. So there's multiple ways to get a page number that will auto change for whatever page it's on, and it will number their paper for them. So we've set it up. If that was review for you, sorry, thanks for sticking along though, just to make sure everyone knows where we're at and seeing those steps that I think can help kids along the way. So we're doing research, we're doing Shakespeare research, and let's say I want our students to just gather 10 facts to orient themselves. I could give them the information myself, or I could let them explore on their own. I could go to the library and have their librarian help them with some research or uncover certain great sources. But let's say we're just opening it up and I want my students to search Shakespeare, Elizabethan England to get ready to read some drama. The feature we're going to look at is called Explore. So what our students or teachers can do is we go to Tools, and then we're going to click Explore. And now within my workplace, it's essentially a Google search. And you can see here, it's already recommending William Shakespeare because I wrote about it. And if I had more content, I might have other suggestions here. So I'm going to click William Shakespeare. And now I have a web search within my document. So I can scroll past Wikipedia, and I'm going to look at the URLs and try and find a great source that might teach me something that I could use to gather some facts. As you can see, I can do image searches, and I can search my drive. So here I see former lesson plans that I have. So these features, as an educator, could help me build a Google slide, right? Having this image search is a great way if I'm trying to add visuals. Say I'm trying to make a hyperdoc of resources, I can easily jump to any of my other work if I were trying to link to those and build like a hyperdoc. So there's a lot of implications for this super simple tool of Explore. It is just a Google search. So when I click here and I'm going to look at William Shakespeare's biography, okay, it's going to open a new tab and I can peruse this information. and get some life. Maybe I go, you know, oh, here we go. I can now link to a timeline so that for a student, they don't have to read as much, right? And it's a little bit interactive. So students might find a great resource, but maybe they review it and they decide they want to look at another one. I come back to my results and I'm going to see here biography.com because I want some more details about his life. So when a student is looking here, they're doing their work, they're going to find some facts. Maybe they realize that one of the facts they want to talk about is, let's jump down. He is a mysterious figure because there were 7 years of his life without any records. So my student's going to say this. Shakespeare's life is a mystery. Okay, so I used biography.com to teach me this. So now, though, when I go back to my explore options, since I used this source, one cool tool, depending on your purposes, when I click this little quotation mark icon, it is going to give me a number 1 here. And down at the bottom, I have a footnote telling me this is where I got my information. So if you have students practicing just source tracking, this footnote feature is super simple, right? It's going to create it for them. It's really neat. It won't work for all assignments or all items. But now let's say I've moved past my 10 facts and now I'm writing a paper. And at the end of my paper, I have a works cited. So to build a works cited, students often they're studying those tools. Maybe they're using, in the past, we recommended Noodle tools or EasyBib, which are websites online that are great and have fill in the box information to build works cited and track sources. But Google Docs is going to do this for us too. And it's really helpful and it's really simple and there's no pop-up ads or creating a free account. It's all within the Google Workspace. So now I'm going to go to my tools and I'm going to go to citations. Okay. We'll delete these. These were the last time I demonstrated it. And I'm going to add a source. And I'm just going to follow these drop-down options. I found a website that helped me, this biography.com. So I will gather my information here, and then I'm going to search, and it is going to pull the title, web title, the date it was published, and access, and who wrote it. There's an author listed, which is quite a boon for web sources. We're going to continue. And we have no blanks that we need to fill in. And I'm going to do add citation source. And now I have this properly formatted so far citation here. I can add another source. As you can see, if you have students using print sources, maybe even their textbook, you want them to use a chapter specifically, you know, they can fill it in. So if it was a print source, you can even search it. Or we're going to cite manually, and the students are just going to follow each step, and they can fill it in. So they can still have to do some hands-on work if you choose to. But for ease of use, we're going to find another source. Let's see what we get from this URL as well. So when I paste these in, this year I didn't get, or this time I didn't get quite so lucky. I don't have the published year, and I don't have a contributor, but I'm still going to do the best I can to cite my source. Okay. Since there's no author listed, okay, we're going to say, you know, where are we looking here? We are in the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust. So that's a mouthful, but we're going to say corporation, organization, since they published it. Okay. And we're going to add our source. So now I have 2 sources listed here. And I'm going to insert a works cited with the click of a button. And it's even going to help me. It's going to offer remove sources that are not cited in the text, right? A works cited is only sources we've used versus a bibliography that would have anything we read to gain knowledge on our topic. It put it in alphabetical order for me. I have a hanging indent, so I don't have to mess with the formatting. It did all of that work for me, and I already did the brain work, right, of finding my good sources, pulling facts from it. So these tools, as you can see, it makes a task that can sometimes be complicated or time-consuming super simple, so kids can focus on sharing their learning and their knowledge, proofreading their writing without some of the stress. So I hope this was helpful to you. I hope that it gives you a little bit of confidence with some research things. I'll do a quick plug that when you're working with tools and projects like this, your librarian on campus would love to help your kids with research. So reach out, work together, let them teach your students, and practice those things for yourself as well. So I hope it might help you with lesson planning, presentations, or help show your students that research doesn't have to be scary, citing sources doesn't have to be scary, and there's a way to find great tools out there. If your students did use library sources like databases and things like that, which will also within those tools give you the citation, they could paste it in here, right? And they can still add to and create a proper works cited using those library tools as well that will cite your work for you, which also makes life easy, which is our goal. So hope you learned something valuable. Hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for your time. Hello.
All right, so that was a pretty neat tool also that Google offers within Google Docs to help our students do their research and add any citations as Jamie was going over. For our next topic, continuing in the Google Docs application, we have Turnitin Draft Coach. This is an add-on inside of our Google Docs that's available for all of our staff, our students, and let's go ahead and go over what this Turnitin Draft Coach is. I'm going to go ahead and play this quick video that will showcase a little bit of what the tool is, and then we'll go into each one of the elements and I'll show you live how you can access and work with this add-on in Google Docs. All right, so I'll go ahead and play that.
Creating original work is challenging. When students need guidance, you can't always be there. Draft Coach can. More than just a checker, Draft Coach is designed to encourage learning. Students can address grammar, similarity, and citation issues while they write in Google Docs. Insights on text matches allow students to take action immediately to avoid accidental plagiarism. Draft Coach provides instant feedback with detailed explanations to help students credit sources properly. A grammar guide that encourages independent editing with in-depth explanations that move beyond the click and fix model. Developing a deeper understanding of the values and guidelines required to create original work with integrity. Empowering students to become more independent learners and confident writers. Turnitin Draft Coach, with your students every step of the way. Now available for Google Workspace schools that use Feedback Studio with Originality, or Originality. Creating a
All right, so continuing with that guide for students to work on their papers, we have an add-on already installed for our students and staff inside of Google Docs. There's no need for them to go ahead and install it themselves. It's already there, ready to go whenever they need it. So as the video showed, this is a guide for our students to kind of review their paper before they submit it to the teacher. Some of the things that we will find in Turnitin Draft Coach is a plagiarism checker. It's going to go over grammar and some spell check. It's not necessarily the spelling that checks on it. It's more of the mechanic side. So it's not a fully spell checker. And it also is going to help you with the citation. So it's very, very easy to set up that draft coach. You simply open the Google Doc and we go to the extensions options in the menus, and then it's going to already be there for you. You're going to see Turnitin draft coach. And if it's the first time that you're using it, you just need to accept the user agreement to activate it. And then you're ready to go. You can go ahead and start using it. So the three elements that are in this draft coach is the similarity report. This tool will allow you to compare the paper with Turnitin's repository of online sources or papers that are submitted through the Turnitin assignment feature, and it will flag any similarities. Students have the options of checking the similarity up to 3 times for the same draft. And it'll give them a nice report highlighting what was a match, and then they can go ahead and, you know, like, what is the word that make some exceptions for acceptable similarity matches, such as quotations, citations, any bibliography, things like that, that are supposed to be a match in any document that where you're doing any of that. Then there's the citation report, and this is going to help them to create those accurate citations, kind of similar of what we saw in Jamie's video, right? But this is within the Turnitin draft coach. So it's going to make sure that everything is formatted properly, and it's going to guide the students if any errors were detected and things like that. It's going to help them highlight what the issue is and guide them on how to fix it. And then we have the grammar guide, which will go over the document and give you any issues found. And this is not like other grammar checkers that we see that is just highlighting the error and then you can click on it to fix it itself. It's going to give you the issue, it's going to explain why it's an issue and give you some examples. And it's the student's responsibility to go into the document and fix it based on the knowledge that was shared by the draft coach of Turnitin. So it's not going to do the work for them, it's going to give them the, you know, the item that needs to be fixed, recommendations, or not recommendations, but like examples, and then they can do the work. So they can run as many times as they need the grammar check and use it at any point. The only one that has like limit is the similarity report, and it's important to highlight that any similarity report or any documents that are run by the draft coach are not going to be added to Turnitin's repository. So when the teacher, if the teacher uses the Turnitin assignment piece, it's not going to conflict or become a match of that one used in the draft coach. So that's super helpful. So it's going to be great for review and feedback. This is kind of guide the student to make sure that they're submitting work that's been improved by being reviewed and given feedback by Turnitin draft coach. It's going to also give them better collaboration, as they will be strengthening and improving the level of feedback given to each other on their second and third drafts. So it's a really neat tool to show our students that is available for them to use independently as they're working on their classwork. So let me go ahead and quickly show you. So here in this example of a writing project, I can go to extensions, and then at the very bottom here, I see Turnitin Draft Coach. I simply click on that option, and it's going to open this workspace on the right-hand side. And then it's giving me the 3 different tools, right? The similarity check, the citations, and the grammar guide. So I can go ahead and see I have 3 out of 3 checks left. And I can run the similarity check. Within the tool, there's a lot of guidance of how and when I should use these checks. If it's just to continually make revisions to your draft, or if you want to complete your draft and then make any revisions, things like that. But I'm just going to run it just really quick to show you an example. So I have copied a section here in the document directly from a website to hopefully get a match. Let's see how well this does. There we go. Got a 20% similarity, and it's exactly this paragraph what I pulled out from this website. So as a student, I can go ahead and make sure, okay, this is something that I'm quoting, or this is a citation. It's okay, it's acceptable. My teacher won't mark it as plagiarism. And then if I click on it, it's going to give me the source. I can go in and visit it just like a teacher would when they do the Turnitin assignments. It's kind of like very similar. I can go ahead and then view a full report here in the Draft Coach. And this is where a student can kind of customize their settings for anything that shouldn't be marked as a match. So I can exclude any bibliography, any quotes, any citation, or any small matches. So they can go ahead and see, okay, my document is ready to go. I can submit this version now to my teacher. Super helpful. Then I can go ahead into the grammar and run my grammar check. And then, as I mentioned, it's not going to fix it for you. It's just going to detail the issues that was found. And then I can go through each one of the details that was found. So here, it's going to give me the highlight of what was the issue. And then I can say, show me some examples. And then based off of this, I can go ahead and fix my document. So it's not like Grammarly or anything like that, where it's going to fix it for me and I'm not going to do the work of understanding why it was an issue and putting in the work of correcting it myself. So super helpful for our students to use, and for teachers if they want to check their own writing when they're creating their lesson plans for like grammar and things like that. They can absolutely use the extension as well, and to kind of share it with their students as well. All right, so we are getting close to the end. I just want to make sure that we have enough time for our next presenter, which I see that came up in the camera. So our next topic is Google Bard, which is Google's AI application. And I'm going to just hand it over to you, Matthew. Thank you for joining us and sharing about Google Bard.
No, thank you, Angela. And the really neat thing about that Turnitin Draft Coach, it's already installed for all students and staff. We already have it in Google Docs, just like you showed us. So that's really neat. I do want to say something. So welcome everyone. Your neighborhood-friendly director of EdTech, Matthew Ketchum here. I do want to share that Alexandra and Angela are doing a fantastic job. Today's how they do that live. We had it fully staffed, teachers, vendors, and just as what the weather is and everything. So there's just different attendance for today. So I really have to give it to Angela and Alexandra. A lot of what you saw them present was them helping out and jumping in at last minute here today. As is with me on this topic, is similar to that. So I'm jumping in here to show you Google Bard. So we're keeping with our googly theme for today. The slide deck, as Angela mentioned, will be shared out. On this, I have 2 links for a little bit of help guide and some ideas how teachers could use Google Bard. So Google Bard is Google's version of AI and automations. So to share, we do have AI tools open for MCS staff. It's open for staff, not students. But for staff, you go to MCS App Portal. There is a folder called AI Tools for MCS staff. When you click on it, it has all of these amazing AI tools. We have access to all the free versions of the tools. Many of them, when you click on them, you can just click the sign in with Google button to sign in. Today, we're going to go over Google Bard, but there's several others in here. For teachers and educators, one of my favorites is Magic School. So if you haven't taken our Magic School training in the PD catalog, highly suggest it. Some amazing things there. But we'll look at Google Bard. So this is very similar, as you can see the color blue. So ChatGPT, the most famous one, Google Bard, and Microsoft Copilot Chat. They're all very similar in how they work. A couple of things just to share with you real quickly is just a guidance using any AI tool. They have an 80-20 approach. So you're using AI, you're putting in the prompts, what do you want it to create? But review it. So let AI do 80% of the work, but let's do 20% of the work. And that's the review, that's checking for accuracy, that's editing for your audience. So making sure you're doing that. And that's what a lot of these topics on this slide are about. But one other really big thing is protecting privacy. So don't include personal student details, names, addresses in any of the prompts. And with that, it is strongly encouraged by all EdTech and educational experts with staff using AI for protecting student and staff privacy. Users need to have caution what they share in the AI tool prompts or data to give the tools. Do not put in student staff data on these tools. They do store it. They can use the information. It's potential for someone to search with those tools for that information. And even if they don't do that, a lot of them are collecting this data and selling it. So we want to be very mindful of that. All right, with that, let's go live with Google Bard. So I'm gonna bring up Google Bard and we'll try this out here. So when you get to Google Bard, this is what it looks like. Up here in the top right-hand corner, the settings, I have it on the dark mode, but you can use the light theme as well. So when you get to Google Bard, one cool thing is they give you examples right here of different ways that you could use it. I can always click this little refresh and get some more examples. So you can keep clicking that. You can click on these and they'll start to show you what it can do. So that's a neat way if you never tried it. And then with any AI, you have your prompt here at the bottom. So jumping into this today, presenting in Google Bard, I'm going to use this to help me right now. So let's see, what are examples of using Google Bard for teachers? Let's see what it gives me. So it's generating it. So then it's coming up with some really good content. So creating engaging interactive lessons you could use this for. Differentiate in the classroom, creating personalized materials for students. They even have a graphic here I can click on that opens up a resource, which is cool. Let's see, assess student learning, save time and effort. Stay up to date with research. So that's pretty cool. And any prompt, you can continue typing and it will know what you already had in it. So you can say, revise this. Can you create this in a Lexile level for such and such grade level, or reading level for such and such grade, or can you align this to such and such standard? So you can continue to type in the prompts with AI, interact, and it knows what you previously did. The other thing, you have a couple of different things down here. One I really like, because it's from Google, that accuracy part, I can click this Google button and it will start to look through Google resources and make sure the information is accurate that it already has. And if you're kind of curious what it is, you can see that if it highlights green, it's found that in several different sources, so it feels pretty accurate, that info is. If it ever highlights anything in red, it feels it doesn't have anything to back up that info. So I think that's pretty neat. Even though BARD is their AI, they even have a Google button to even check further its accuracy. One other thing you can share, so if I click this, because it's Google, you can export to Google Docs. And sometimes you can say create a sheet with such and such information, and it will actually create the Google sheet for you, which is pretty neat. So you have those buttons. Let's see here. See what else it might have. What websites or videos to share with teachers how to use BARD. See what it gives me there. And look at that, it gives me different links and different videos that you can use. So you can see already it's a really helpful resource. You can interact with it. You know, I have to present for you all. So let's see, create slide presentation, introduction, Google BARD to teachers. And it will give me an outline of a slide presentation I can use, which is really neat. So hopefully this is helpful for another AI tool to help you out, to automate some of your processes. And you can even ask BARD, how can I use this as a teacher? And you can see it already gives you some really great info. Just one other thing I wanted to share is in the slide deck will get shared with you is we have an AI at MCS website. Well, all kinds of resources and status of what AI looks like in our district. And with that, Angela, we have the survey to put in the chat for them.
Yes, sir. I will go ahead and paste that link in our Q&A for you all to go ahead and click on that. Take a minute to answer some questions there that we would like to know about how to improve our own trainings. What are you looking for? How can we help you improve your skills? So just take a few minutes to take care of that. Can be right now or later in the day. And I think that's all we got for you in our How They Do That Live Get Googly session. Thank you so much for joining us here today. And if you have any questions, feel free to email any of us in our EdTech department. And until next time.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Angela, for being a great host.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for all the people that presented here today. Very cool info shared.
Google-rific. I didn't even have AI write that for me.
That was good. That was good. All right, guys. Bye and enjoy the rest of your day.